will chant the invocatory shlokas and then start. Namo namaste gurave mahatmane vimukta sangaya saduttamaya nityadvayananda rasasvarupine bhumne sada paradayam budhamne namaste namaste vibho vishwamurte namaste namaste Chidanandamurti Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shrutijnanagamya Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste, Namaste, Shruti Jnanagamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajati Guru Rajati Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajati Guru Rajati Hari Om Tat Sat. So our title is Living the Bhagavad Gita Way. There is something special about the sadhana, the pursuit of Bhagavad Gita, for which this title is given. Actually, we can have living the Upanishadic way. The Upanishads are the last part of the Vedas, which contains the knowledge section of the Vedas. The other the previous portions are ritualistic part of the Vedas. So, when we proceed to the knowledge part, the Upanishadic way of living is not applicable to most of us because it needs renunciation and complete dedication to the knowledge. We call it exclusive knowledge pursuit. What to do? This is also why the Upanishadic knowledge is not possible for people in the but even if they reduce, there will be noise. I think this is okay. So, it is called the exclusive knowledge pursuit, or in detail it is known as Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. That means you listen to the truth or read about the truth, then introspect on whatever we have learned from hearing or reading, and that should go on till our intelligence becomes completely satisfied with the rational arguments. That is, with the rational arguments of the intelligence, we try to understand whether it is acceptable or not. And when we become completely convinced about the truth, then the truth is about our own self, about our own identity. So we have understood that this is what Atma is, this is what Brahman is, this is what the Supreme Truth is. But the fact is that the Supreme Truth is about our own real identity. So we have to get merged in that truth. We have to get completely fused into truth. Actually, the yoga means that fusion. Yoga means that the normal, our usual egoistic personality we have, the identity we are used to, that dissolution of that identity in our real identity, which is the Atma or Brahman, or you can say consciousness, which is not just body limited, it's everywhere same. It's a little too much. So then after we are convinced with our rational arguments, we try to contemplate on the truth so that the fusion takes place. That is, this is what I am. So we completely meditate on that, get fused in that truth. As you many of you will be knowing that Aham Brahmasmi and all that, the Advaita mantra is that I am the Brahman and all. So the Nididhyasana part is like that you contemplate that I am the universal self, I am not limited by the body, mind, personality. And what is the difference from the usual meditation or usual thinking? Say with Manana, what is the difference in Nididhyasana? In Manana, we are constantly thinking about it, analyzing it, whereas in Nididhyasana, no more effortful rationalization or anything is there. We simply get flowing with that identity concept. So we generally compare with, suppose you pour water slowly, it splits into droplets. It falls in droplets. Like that in Manana, our thoughts are also thoughts on Supreme. Sometimes will be there, sometimes will be missing. So they are broken like droplets. Whereas in Nididhyasana, the contemplation is called Taila Dharavat. Taila Dhara means like the flow of oil. When you pour oil, it doesn't get split into droplets. It's a continuous flow. So like that, the mind contemplates on the truth in a continuous manner. And the peak of Nididhyasana, or the ultimate of Nididhyasana, is the knowledge, that you get identified with it. Now this is naturally, we can understand, we are not fit for it, because our mind is given to so many occupations, many things. So that is the Upanishadic way of living, where we completely dedicate to the knowledge and live in tune with that. That is why you will find the most of the scriptures, suppose let us say Mundaka Upanishad. It starts with the story that Shaunaka, who was a great householder, that each word in our Upanishads are extremely meaningful. Why great? That part I have explained in other places in detail. In brief, it means who has followed all the principles of householder life in a proper manner. Now our ashramas, which ashramas mean the phases of life. There are 4 phases in our tradition. That is brahmacharya, garhastha, vanaprastha and sannyasa. Brahmacharya means which is the study life, student life. Now in brahmacharya life we pursue what is called dharma. Now about dharma also we have lot of misunderstanding. Dharma is not religion, as in our constitution it has been translated. It is not dharma. Dharma is not religion. Dharma means the fundamental law of sustenance of nature. Dharma eva hato hanti dharmo rakshati rakshitaha dharmo dharayati prajaha. Dharma, this word has come from dhru, that means to sustain. Dharma eva hato hanti dharmo rakshati rakshitaha means if you flout this fundamental law of nature, fundamental law of sustenance of human being as well as creation, then you will be killed by creation, by nature itself. And if you protect the law of the fundamental law of natural sustenance, then you will also be protected by the law. This is very true. We can see that environment we have damaged and we are suffering from so many kinds of diseases by spoiling the environment. So spoiling the environment is not in tune with the natural law of sustenance. In the last 100 years, the way we have spoiled the atmosphere, it has not happened over thousands and thousands of years. We have been living with no problem at all. In the last 100 years of industrialization and all, it is good that we have got lot of conveniences and other things, but that has not been restricted by the law of dharma. It was unrestricted indulgence in the industry. So we have spoiled the nature. Now we are suffering. So dharma means actually to know how we live in harmony with nature, in harmony with human civilization. And what is the principle? Whatever you do not like to be done to you, you should not do to others. These are all coined in Sanskrit verses. I am not going into the depth of it. That is, suppose you would not like your materials to be taken away by others, so you should not take others' materials also. You won't like to be killed by others, so you should not, or hurt by others, so you should not hurt others also. It goes to very subtle level also. Whatever we don't want to be done to us, we should not do to others. That's a very brief principle of dharma, you can say. Now, in the student life, we learn dharma. That is the first phase of our life. In the next phase is called artha. That means whatever we have learned as the principle of life, the best principle of life, based on that, we earn property, money and all that. That is, you cannot earn flouting dharma. Although we say that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are the four, these are called purusharthas. Purusharthas means purushasya artha. That means whatever we gain by applying our will, by applying our effort. Paurusha means effortfulness. Whatever we gain by applying our effort is called purushartha. So to learn this fundamental law of sustenance is also the first purushartha, that we have to learn it, we have to understand it, we have to absorb it. Remaining in the school. School means those days it was Gurukula. The teacher, he was living the life of the knowledge, and the students, by living with the teacher, used to learn. It is not that 4 hours or 8 hours of school and you go back, you do whatever you like. They used to stay with the teacher for years and learn with him by staying with him, so that the virtues and values can automatically go into them. And the young age is the best age to learn. Now after that they take to the earning money or property, but depending on the following the dharma, whatever they have learnt in their brahmacharya life or in the student life. Then comes kama. Now we are always in spirituality speaking about desirelessness, etc. So people do not like it, thinking that we are always guided by desire. How can we be desireless? So the correction necessary is, if we are always just wanting to eliminate desire, then why is it that the dharma, artha, kama is there in our 4 phases of life? It has been approved by our shastras. So scriptures are not saying that you should not fulfill your desires at all. But the scriptures are saying a very important point there. Whatever the rightful desires you have, you should fulfill by following the dharma. That in fulfilling the desires also, you should not flout dharma. The natural law of sustenance should be there. So they have given the prescription of how to fulfill the desires, how to live a garhasthya, that is householder life, how to beget children of, so those will be a contribution for the society, good children, who will be a great contribution for the society, so that the society always walks on the noble path. Everything is discussed. In Brihadaranyaka, all details are given that if you want this kind of a child, what should you do? That kind of a child, what should you do? Everything is there in our Shastra. Particularly, they are specifying that Garhasthya life is for fulfilling your desires. You may have desire for comfort, money, food, or sex, or whatever. This is for fulfilling the desires, but never think of fulfilling the desires flouting the dharma which you have learned. The fundamental harmony, the law of sustenance of nature. Now the secret there is that when we fulfill our desire following the dharma, then we find that we have outlived the desires. We will simply outlive. The whole our Indian Shastra, scriptural life is living and outliving. It is never for suppressing or eliminating like that. There will be few people who will not have to go to the artha and the kama, that is the garhasthya and vanaprastha. They can straight away go to sannyasa from brahmacharya, if they are already freed of desire. Very few people, rare people used to be there, some students, they would not like to, they don't have such desires, they want to know the truth. They want to become the carrier of the truth. They want to become like the teacher also. So they may not go for fulfillment of desire or comfort or anything. So they would straight away go to sannyasa. You will find that like you have in colleges now, convocation school and all, those days also we had the samavartana or convocation. In that, they would decide that is they are passing away from the Gurukula school, the first school. They would decide that some will say that no, I don't want to go for anything else. I want to pursue this life of living the truth, ultimate truth. I would like to know the absolute truth, what is the ultimate in human life, and I don't want to waste my time, I want to go that path. If they are fit for that, they would take to what is that? Naishthika Brahmacharya. Naishthika means nishtha, means completely dedicated life of a student, till they take to this sannyasa, that means renunciates life. All these are provisions are there. The fundamental fact why I started speaking about this is the Mundaka Upanishad story. They are saying Shaunaka, a great householder. Just to say that. Who is a great householder? Who has lived the household life in such a manner that he has outlived all the desires generally we have. He doesn't have any desire for further property or kingdom or any other thing. Everything is already he has outlived. So the Upanishad says just in one line that Shaunako havai mahashalo vidhivat upasanna papracha. He went to Angiras Rishi, who was a knower of truth, in the proper manner. Proper manner means you are going to get the knowledge from somebody, you should go with enough of humility and love for it, fondness for it. So Vidhivat means with that proper prescription, he went to him, and what did he ask? He asked, Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. Bhavati. He asked that by knowing what, everything will become known. Now it's a strange question. It is because in his Dharma, in his studies of Dharma, he had known that by knowing the ultimate truth, our intelligence becomes completely fulfilled. We don't have any more doubt, any more inquiry at all. That is, if we know the ultimate truth, then everything becomes known. Everything does not mean that he will know how many molecules are there in this table or how many leaves are there in the tree. He knows that everything is appearing on the consciousness. He knows what is that consciousness, and that is our identity only, nothing different from that, our real identity. So if he knows that, that completely fulfills his enquiry, which Bhagavad Gita also says, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha, by getting which you don't look for anything else. So his question shows that he did not have any other desire. Normally people will go to a saint asking for so many things. If they don't have anything for themselves, they will ask for the children, that he should get a good job or he should get to a good university. If children have already got good job, then they will ask about the grandchildren. So we generally go with so many things to ask for. But Shaunaka's question shows that he did not want anything. He has already outlived those desires and asking for the ultimate knowledge. Now, what I wanted to say is that in the setting of Mundaka Upanishad, by that, what they are picturing is a very peaceful forest hermitage, where a seeker of knowledge has come, not seeking anything else. However, he might be sometimes a king. In many of the stories, a king. He has left everything and he has come to seek knowledge. And the teacher also is in that hermitage, and the conversation starts there in a peaceful setting. You will find in all the scriptures it is like that, almost all the scripture, or maybe all. If you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, you find that on the bank of the river, Shukadeva is preaching. And to whom? The king, who knows that within 7 days I am going to die. So I have to know the truth before that. And it is in a peaceful setting going on. In Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana, you will find that Rama was disturbed in his mind after seeing the world, because so long he was kept in a very comfortable situation in the palace. His mind did not grow. When he went around for pilgrimage and everywhere, he found that it is not at all as I am seeing in my palace. The whole world is different. He got so disturbed that he stopped doing anything. Even he would not do the ablutions or go for his usual routine work. Nothing. He would sit depressed. So his father, mother, nobody in the palace knew how it can be treated. Rama, such a good son, suddenly has become depressed like this. Then finally, Vishwamitra comes, and they had always linked with the saints. So Vasishtha Deva is preaching Rama. The whole Yoga Vasishtha is 18 days of conversation from morning to evening. Every day Rama, Dasharatha and all used to go to Saint Vasishtha's cottage, invite him, bring him to the palace, and Vasishtha Deva would start his message in the morning, and it will go on till evening, till the sunset, when Rama and others would go with him, leave him in the cottage and come back. Like that, 18 days. But it's in a very peaceful setting, where only enquiry and reply to the enquiry was there. Everywhere it is like that. Only in Bhagavad Gita we find suddenly that it's a war situation. That to the biggest war we have ever known, Mahabharata war situation. And what has happened? The greatest warrior who had practiced throughout his life and is acknowledged as the greatest warrior of the time, he is not able to lift his bow and arrow. He is not having the mental power to go ahead with the war. He is failing. He was shivering, he was crying, he was sweating. So why such a situation has been put? And the whole Bhagavad Gita is to make Arjuna run away or make him fight the war. Huh? Everywhere it is repeatedly Krishna is saying, Tasmad Yuddhasva Bharata, Tasmad Yuddhasva Bharata. Therefore, Arjuna, you fight. After telling the Atma, he is not asking you go and meditate on Atma now, as in exclusive Jnana Nishtha. After saying everything about Atma, he is saying, therefore, Arjuna, you fight. Is it not a very, very special situation that they are giving? And can we imagine an engagement which is more involving than fighting the war those days? See, Arjuna is not sitting in his office and pressing the dial and telling somebody you drop the nuclear bomb there. It is not that kind of a war, not that kind of a war. He has to fight with his own weapon, sitting in the chariot, surrounded by so many other people who are out to kill him. In that kind of an involvement, if that war situation can be utilized as a process or sadhana to grow to the highest level of spiritual fulfillment. I am not saying that Arjuna went to the highest level, but he could fight the war with that dimension which Krishna wanted. So it means that whatever involvement we have in everyday work, in office or family or in the club or whatever involvement we have, it is nothing compared to the fighting a war of that kind. So we should not have any doubt at all that this Bhagavad Gita way or the pursuit in Bhagavad Gita can be practiced by anybody and everybody on earth, involved in any field of activity to any level intensity, provided, only one provided he wants it. He has to, deep in his mind, he has to want the development Bhagavad Gita is projecting, the transformation Bhagavad Gita is projecting. So it's a very, very special situation. So it is wrong to say that Bhagavad Gita is asking us to leave everything and take up sannyasa and go for alms and living in the forest. Actually, Arjuna was proposing that. And Krishna said, no. Why no? Because you are not fit for that. He is not condemning the renunciation. He is saying renunciation is good for the people who are fit for it. But you have contemplated on a war for 14 years. So going to the forest, you will not meditate on Atma, you will meditate on Duryodhana, who you have to kill. So it's a realistic situation where you cannot take to the Upanishadic way of life. So he was given another kind of a life, that is an interactive life, with Krishna's promise that I will take you to the same Upanishadic goal. And you will reach it by fighting the war, not by running away from the war. If you run away from the war, then your both sides will be lost. You have not fulfilled your work, and you will not be able to succeed in the renunciate's life also. You fight the war, outlive all your warring tendencies and all, whatever is you are meant for. Then at one time, in a mature stage, you can leave and go. That is what is given by the Mahaprasthana when all the brothers went to Himalayas. So it's a very special situation where Krishna is asking, or Vyasadeva is asking, that the pursuit can be done through remaining in intense activity in any field. So we should be able to understand this fundamental platform of Bhagavad Gita, that normally in Upanishadic pursuit or exclusive knowledge pursuit, we always feel the activities are hindrance. Why? Because our mind will get distracted. We will not be able to study properly. We will not be able to meditate. So all the activities are considered to be hindrance to our sadhana. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita, the main point is all the activities have to be converted into an instrument taking us to the ultimate goal. Am I clear? That is, you have to, whatever activity you are doing, he is not asking that you change your activity from fighting the war to teach in a college. No, you fight the war. But I want you to change only your mindset. In first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is saying that Ahovata mahat papam kattum vyavasita vayam yat rajya sukha lobhena hantum swajanamudyataha. That we are out to fight this great war out of rajya sukha lobha. That is, I am fighting for winning the kingdom which will give me some comfort and which will make me happy. All are wrong, but still his mind was like that. A good king, the life is never comfortable. It will never make him happy also. They have to sacrifice many things. But whatever it is, his mindset was yat rajya sukha lobhena. For the greed of enjoying the comfort of ruling the kingdom, what are we going to do? Hantum swajanamudyataha. I am going to kill my own most beloved grandfather and the most respected teacher from whom I have learned archery, because they are standing on the opposite side. I cannot do anything. I have to fight them. So it is the most sinful deed according to him. The whole Bhagavad Gita is to transform Arjuna's mindset that you are not fighting for any of your personal gain. I want this war to be fought because all the kings have become corrupt. The earth is ruled by wrong kings. They have to die. The war is set up to hand over the rulership of the earth on good kings who will be again bringing back the society on the auspicious track. And in that process, your support is necessary as a fighter. In the war, you may not even survive. You may die in the process. So there is no question of Rajya Sukha Lobha there. But even if you get defeated, you cannot shun the war. Because your purpose is to try to establish a Dharma Rajya, a proper righteous rule on earth. And you have the capability. You have learnt only for that. And you see, you are crying, weeping, sweating, and on the other side, your teacher Drona is there. Your grandfather Bhishma is there, who is going to fight with you. They are happily standing. Don't you see, they are not having this kind of a nervousness. Where from they are doing? Bhishma may think that I have to kill Arjuna in this war. How can I do it? He may also fall from the chariot like Arjuna. He is not doing it. So, the change of mindset is necessary. What kind of a change? From a personal gain orientation to whatever has to be done for the welfare of the society, welfare of mankind, welfare of nature, whatever. Now, if we do in that manner, then you will find that you will be able to fight your grandfather in spite of your love and fondness, whatever you have for him. And when you are able to fight your grandfather in spite of your fondness for him, you will be able to kill Duryodhana also without having hatred towards him. Can you see the two sides of the coin? He was thinking of killing Duryodhana because of his hatred towards him, intolerance towards Duryodhana. He was not fully thinking that Duryodhana is not righteous and I should kill. It was a constantly bred hatred from childhood. Now, to overcome that, if he can overcome the special fondness he is having for his grandfather and teacher and fight, just he has to fight the opposite party, then he will be able to kill Duryodhana also without having any intolerance or hatred towards him. That was the idea. And that he did. Although in Mahabharata we can see that Arjuna was not able to fight Bhishma. He was shooting arrows which were striking and falling. Krishna finally said, "Oh, tumse nahi hoga. You will not be able to do." So he went with his Sudarshana Chakra that I will kill Bhishma. You are not fit for this. I will kill Bhishma because Bhishma has to be killed, otherwise we will not be able to win the war. When Krishna went down with the Sudarshana Chakra, Arjuna fell at his feet that no, I will kill. So it's not that easy. Even there are actual instances, we know of many things. After independence, then during Naxalite movement also, I know of some of my friends and all, that how difficult it is that when police was chasing the Naxalite team, Naxalite you must be knowing that the terrorist team, the police inspector found that the leader of the Naxalite group is his own son. They had sent their son for studies to some very good college. He never knew that he has left the college and joined this team. Can you imagine that they may have to kill the people also, and the father is going to kill the son. So he could not, because he did not study Bhagavad Gita, or he did not have so much of it to absorb Bhagavad Gita. He said that I won't be able to. So he left the whole work to his subordinate, sub-inspector, and left the scene that this is my son, so I cannot do anything. But he was good. Otherwise he would have seen that the son is taken away and others are killed. That he did not do. So these instances are there, really it's there, and we have to rise to the dimension of doing the right thing, righteous thing, without becoming weak and overpowered by the circumstances. So Bhagavad Gita, if we follow the message properly, try to live the message, it will give us tremendous self-seatedness, power, courage. It is not that it will give, we have it. Our mind already carries this unlimited power. Our mind is that, but not knowing that we behave in a weak, in a puny manner. It is there. We have to know it and we have to harness it, then we will be able to live it. And so the whole message of Bhagavad Gita is that when an activity like war can be converted into a spiritual sadhana. Sadhana you understand, no? Spiritual pursuit. When the war can be made into a spiritual pursuit, what to speak of the other activities we are doing? Everywhere we should be able to get rid of our gain orientation, our selfish, self-centered orientation, our constrictions of the mind, and becoming expanded, universal, so that we can do everything in the manner Bhagavad Gita wants us to do and attain the highest goal in life. Can we show the slides? Number 1, that is after the picture. Understanding the problem. See, this first, no external gain has ever made anybody fulfilled. Seeking happiness from objects, we become slave to objects. This is a great discovery of Bhagavad Gita, that why are we working? Any activity we are engaging, we are performing, always desirous of something. Our activities are generally motivated by desire. So if you ask yourself, you go on questioning, why am I working to get some salary or whatever? By getting salary, what will happen? I will look after my family. By that, what will happen? Final answer will be, I will become happy. Is it not so? Even those who are sacrificing their life for the country also, they say that by sacrificing my life, I will become happy because I want the country to become independent or whatever. So everywhere we want to become happy. For that we are engaging in activity. But Bhagavad Gita says that we are engaging in activity to become happy, But the result of the activity is that it is always making us slave to the world. We are generating more bondage than freedom. Why? Because we want a particular result, that is becoming happy. And when we are not able to get happy, then we get disturbed. And even if you become happy, suppose you want something and you have got it and you have become happy, then there will be the fear and anxiety of losing it. Even the students, you see that they can study very well, they can write whatever they know in the exam, but thinking of the exam, they are not able to study even or write, becoming nervous. Why? Because we are thinking that if I cannot get the good rank or good result, that is making them nervous. That means the desire for having a particular rank is overpowering him. Now, it's a simple analysis that when will you get a good result? If you do the work properly, if you study properly, and in the exam, what can you do? Whatever you have studied, you can write that. So why should you get ever anxious about the result of the exam? It is because we are, before the work is done, we are plugging our mind to the ultimate result. There is a difference in time. There is a time gap. Is it not? Now is the time when I should study, I should work. Any activity you take, I should put my full mind to this activity. But my full potential is not utilized. The excellence I am not able to have in my performance because the mind is not thinking of the activity, but the part of the mind is thinking of whether I will be successful or not. And that is causing the problem. And by that, what is happening? We are never blossoming to our full potential. And we are not being able to happy also. We don't even think that has anybody become happy in the world by getting something from the world. Let us see the richest people in the world, the most powerful people in the world, the most famous people in the world. Did they happy with that? If they are powerful, their mind will be disturbed by somebody else more powerful. Even the richest people will think that another person is becoming multi-billionaire, I am losing my rank. Everybody is unhappy with the world. This is the slavery to the world we are generating. We are earning money to become happy. Is it not? But when the money comes, we get overpowered by the money, more and more money should come, so our happiness is already gone. And if the money comes, then we are afraid of losing it also. There also the happiness is gone. So we are really not behaving in a very intelligent manner. Forget about spirituality. Is it not so? So the Bhagavad Gita actually focuses on that. And there is a great secret there. We think that getting something from the world, whatever I desire, I become happy. But let us analyze the situation that I desire something. Now, when I am getting it fully, is the desire still there? It's not there. The desire has gone already. Suppose you want to make a building. The desire is there for when I will enter the building, when I am entered the building. The moment you have had your Griha Pravesha, you have entered the building, you are very happy that today, after so many years of effort, we are entered. Very nice, everything is nice, you become happy. At that point, having a building, that desire has gone. It is no more there. Now, you are feeling happy. That happiness will remain till another desire overpowers your mind, or another anxiety or fear overpowers your mind. Within a few days, you will start becoming agitated that so far only I had to ask the landowner to set right the plumbing or set right the electricity. Now I have to run for this. Everything I have to do. Who knew that all these things are going to happen? Whatever. The question is that the mind has now forgotten about the desire. And other desires are still disturbing it. So the happiness is very short-lived generally. Is it not? Is there any doubt about it? So Bhagavad Gita is very intelligent in that point, saying that we are getting the happiness when the desire is not there. And another desire has not come in and occupied my mind. Desire, fear, anxiety, all are together. That is, the desire has gone by getting the fulfillment, but another desire or another agitation has not overpowered the mind. Only that much will be the happiness. Again another desire will come, or another fear will come, another anxiety will come, and we will lose our happiness. We have many examples in that. Suppose you have gone to a beautiful scenery, the ocean, for the first time in life you have gone on the beach and you are seeing the ocean, vast ocean. You are so happy. Right then the information comes that you have lost somebody close, or you have lost your job. So immediately what happens? Where has gone the happiness? Mind has collapsed. Now the sea is still in front. So we think that the happiness is in the sea, or in my seeing the sea. Then you are still seeing the sea. Forget about this sudden collapsing. This I said only to give the touch of suddenness. If you stay on the sea beach for 1 month, after 7 days you will find that you are not looking at the sea, you are fighting with your partner. Is it not so? All the anxiety, everything will be there also. You will forget about the scenery. So it is a wrong understanding that the joy lies in anything in the world, whatever we desire. Joy doesn't lie in there. And how could they analyze this? It is their experimentation. They experimented. When they found that the joy is not there, permanent joy cannot be found anywhere in the world, they meditated within. They focused within and found that their inmost reality, bliss, overflows from there. The ananda, the joy, the prasada, it is right within us. Then why are we not getting it? Because the mind is always cluttered with desire, anxiety, fear and all that. So when the mind is free of desires, free of anxiety, free of fear, automatically we feel the joy and think that the joy has come from the other thing. Our Shastras are very, very strong in this. They say that it is like a dog biting a dry bone where there is no blood, nothing at all. Why? Because by biting, the gum of the dog is getting injured, torn, and the blood is coming, it is his own blood coming out of the gum, and he thinks that the joy is coming out of the bone. You got the link. We think that the joy is coming out from the world, worldly objects. Actually the joy is our birthright. It is always there in our real identity. It is always there. But we are missing it because of the desire, fear, anxiety and all that. And when we get the touch of the joy, we think that it is coming from the worldly objects or so. So Bhagavad Gita's analysis says that this is how we are becoming slave to the objective world. That is, the moment something is wrong in the objective world, in our situation, we immediately lose our self-seatedness. We are always weaker than the world and we are always subdued by the world. Suppose I am fine, very happy, suddenly somebody abuses me, which may be absolutely baseless, not true at all. But we are not able to take it. If somebody abuses, we also start abusing in return. And we lose our peace. I have not done like this. Why this person is saying this? Actually, what is that? We should look into ourselves. What he is saying is not right. It is wrong. Then why should I get worried about it? It is his business. Let him say. How does it matter? The other day I told about Buddha's story, that I think here or in Virginia, I don't know, that Buddha became very famous and the Tantrika, I think day before yesterday perhaps, they came and started abusing him So he kept quiet for a long time. Then the Tantrika got all the more annoyed and said that I am not a human being to you, you are not replying anything. He said that dadatu gali gali mantaha bhavantaha. You are giving me abuses because you have stock of abuses. A person can give whatever he has. I don't have any stock, any abuses in my stock. How can I give you anything in return? So I am not saying anything at all. So can we not have that kind of where lies the difference? How could Buddha do it and we are not able to do it? Is it not in the understanding and the wholesome understanding of the situation? If anybody says wrongly, if there is something true, we should thank the person that you have pointed out my mistake, I will correct it. If there is nothing true, why should I worry? Let him say and go. It is his problem. He will get tense by calling me all these things. He will have tension, he will have stress. I don't have any problem. So this truth in the understanding life, that we are always losing our self-centeredness and becoming slave to the worldly situation world, is a great discovery of Bhagavad Gita. The whole Bhagavad Gita is to how to become master of the world by becoming master of our own mind. It's not there becoming an emperor. We become master of the world by becoming master of our own mind. And our inmost identity has got enough potential, not enough, it's unlimited potential to make us so. So let us go to the next slide. Now, if we find that all our actions are producing bondage and the desires are always actually fooling us, we are not getting any permanent fulfillment. So, should we abandon our actions and sit tight just to know that, oh yes, all the joy is within, so I will not do anything, let the joy come from within? You can do. But the other way is to the Bhagavad Gita way, understand the truth and change the mindset. That is, transformation has to be brought in to the mindset that the gain oriented, but doing something I will become happy, understanding that I am never going to be happy by doing anything. That change in the mindset is what Bhagavad Gita proposes. So, such a person, will he not work? Because he doesn't have any more desire. He understands that the fulfillment of desire doesn't give us the joy. So, will he not work anymore? No, he will work. That is the whole subject of Bhagavad Gita. Because the moment we eliminate the desire, we become happy. Because the mind becomes free of all agitation, tension, everything. And from the point of happiness, we do whatever we do. That is, normally we are doing some, engaging in an activity, thinking that the end product will make me happy. Is it not? That time gap is shifted. You remove that the end product, I am not looking for the happiness at the end of the work. The whole thing is gone. Now your focus will be on the work. You do the work from happiness, not looking for happiness at the end. What will happen when you work free of desires? You will find that you are always doing joyously everything. Everybody, we have to think that it is there. Everybody knows also. When you are working in a team, suppose there you keep away your ego, selfishness, etc. You are working in a team. Don't you find great joy in working in a team? Well, if you have a personal gain orientation, you will not have that joy. But you are working for a good of some society or something. And you don't have the egoistic clashes coming in between. You will get great joy working together. How? Because you have expanded yourself to embrace some other people, and it's a joint endeavor in which you are doing without bothering about anything of the personal gain or not. The moment we can outlive our personal gain orientation, there is a lot of joy. We can do it and find out. Whenever we are able to overpower it, we will find that there is a great joy in doing it. So, Bhagavad Gita, the vision of Bhagavad, the third slide, the next line. The vision of Bhagavad Gita, it says, instead of abandoning activities, make the activities an instrument for liberation. This is the fundamental message of Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to leave your activity, whatever you are doing in any field of work, to any level of intensity. You don't have to leave it. Only change your mindset so that that activity will allow you to become vaster mindset, become universal, and reach the ultimate goal. Fourth slide. So this comes in the second chapter, 49th verse. He says, shall I go into the verses a little? I think all of you know, more or less you are practicing, no? Huh? Durena hyabaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanamanvicha kripanaha phalahetavaha. This is a very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Because often we refer to Bhagavad Gita as karma yoga, karma yoga. Well, it is karma yoga in the sense that it is not asking us to shun the karma, shun the activities. Not only that, it is asking us to make all the activities yoga. That is the important. Generally we find people are, those who are very active, they say, I am doing karma yoga now. After retirement I will see what can be done. It's not true. They are doing only karma, not karma yoga. A karma becomes karma yoga by the yoga attitude of the mind. And the whole Bhagavad Gita, through various methods, it is only trying to install that yoga attitude of the mind. Then, so that all karma become yoga. And how will you have the yoga attitude? That is what Bhagavad Gita defines as Buddhi Yoga. So, truly speaking, Bhagavad Gita is proposing Buddhi Yoga. Because it is an understanding. We have to understand where lies my happiness, where lies my ultimate efficiency, where lies my excellence, where lies my ultimate goal. The ignorance is sitting in the intelligence. It has to be removed from the intelligence so that the intelligence sees the truth. The whole sadhana of Bhagavad Gita is Buddhi Yoga. So in this shloka he is saying, avaram karma. That means whatever actions are done with a selfish gain orientation, that is, I will become happy. By doing this, I will have some gain, and by that I will become happy. This I will become happy is the ultimate. That makes the karma downgraded. The karma avaram means inferior. The actions are fine, but we are making the actions by having incorporated the gain orientation in our mind. As action, nothing is bad, whatever you may do. But if we think that, suppose in the war, when Arjuna was performing the action with a hatred, intolerance toward Duryodhana, then it is inferior karma. If he does with a impersonal, impartial mindset that it is necessary to kill Duryodhana for the establishment of righteous rule on earth, the whole karma becomes of a very high pedestal. So he says that this Buddhi Yoga, you will be able to anchor your Buddhi in the yoga orientation, yoga attitude. That means the yoga attitude will come toward your Buddhi, and with that, whatever you perform, that karma will become liberating. That is what we have studied earlier, that the karma has to take us to liberation, has to be an instrument for reaching the ultimate goal. So therefore, buddhau sharanam anvicha, you take refuge in the buddhi. What kind of a buddhi? This yoga buddhi. You take refuge in this yoga buddhi, get anchored to this yoga buddhi. Why? Because phalahetavaha kripanaha. Those who are not having this yoga buddhi, their mind is fixed on, I will become happy by getting this gain. They are kripanaha. That means they are miserly. They are constricted in their mind. They are not able to have this universal dimension, this impersonal, impartial dimension of the mind. So they are miserly in that sense. Actually, this kripana word in our Shastras is used in Brihadaranyaka. It is said that in Yajnavalkya, Maitreyi Samvada, that, O Maitreyi, those who leave this world without knowing his universal identity with his Atma, they are kripanaha. That means all of us are kripanaha. Kripana means constricted, miserly, narrow-minded. Why? Because our real identity is an infinite universal identity. Now, if I die thinking that I am this small body-mind personality, and when the body-mind personality falls, it is my death, then is it not kripana? Whereas my real identity is universal, I am thinking that I am small, limited by the body-mind personality. So Yajnavalkya makes it very clear there to his wife Maitreyi, that those who leave this world without knowing this truth, they are the real kripanas. So to get over this constriction, we have to know our real identity. Now he says that those who are always plugged to the ultimate result, that everything they do, either doing the work or working in the office or doing something in the family or even cooking food also, thinking that it will make me happy, the ultimate gain, they are all constricted in their mind. So we have to overcome that limited, constricted nature of the mind to have the ultimate yoga, the ultimate fusion with the real identity. By how? By anchoring the intelligence in this real identity, yoga. When it is anchored there, that is called the yoga buddhi. The fifth next slide. Karmajam buddhi yukta hai. This is what that kripana phalahetavaha he has said. That means those who are always plugged to that ultimate happiness or the gain, they are constricted. Now here it is saying, Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gachanti anamayam. He is saying that what is the other side of it? The thoughtful people, muni means those who are thinking, who think deeply, analyze. So the thoughtful people, they perform everything by anchoring their buddhi in the real identity or yoga buddhi, applying yoga buddhi. Phalam tyaktva, by renouncing the result of what their work is. It is widely misinterpreted, misunderstood. You cannot renounce any of the objective result of the work. How can you renounce? The whole objective universe is following a causality. Suppose you wanted to come to, what is this hall name? Huh? DCRC. So, as you are driving towards this, is it not linked by causality? Every moment you are approaching DCRC. Now, after coming to DCRC, can you renounce the result of the work? No, I did not want to come to DCRC. Or I should not have wanted to come to this earth. You renounce it. It is not renunciation. Again, you have to start a new causality. You go back home, but again that will be following causality. Causality, you understand, na? Cause and effect chain. Suppose you want to produce something. After the production is done, can you renounce the product? You are engaging in the activity thinking of a certain product. And when it comes, there is no question of rejecting it. It is impossible. Because the whole universe is linked by cause and effect chain. A lady is bearing a child. 9 months, it is in the pregnancy. She is in pregnancy. When the child is born, should she throw it away? That I don't want the result. Result is the birth of the child. So I don't want the child. Is there any meaning? Even if she doesn't want, it will be another action that she will throw away that baby, and that will again lead to another string of actions. So the renunciation of result in Bhagavad Gita is not so foolish to say that you renounce the objective result of it. It is always to do with the internal result. Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak anything about the outer things. It is only to renounce the internal result. What is the internal result? You are thinking that this work will give me that, and by that I will become happy. Suppose you have come here thinking that I will gain some knowledge. But coming here you find that the Swamiji is useless, I could not understand anything, it all went beyond my head, and you feel depressed and you go away. Now what is happening? The result which you wanted, had it been a very good session, you would have felt joy. If it is not so, you feel depressed about it. Why did I go? I have made a mistake, all those things. You have already done it. So the question is not to renounce any of the objective result, but it is the gain orientation in the mind. I think you have written here. Acting with yoga buddhi, renouncing the results, the wise attains immortality, transcending worldliness. No, the next one, you so sure? I don't know. Sixth, abandoning results too. Abandoning result of karma in Bhagavad Gita does not refer to the external result. External result follows causality. It is abandoning the internal result. What is it? The preferential disposition of the mind that I will be happy only with the favorable result. The mind is always having a preferential. If it is not according to my whatever I wanted, then we get depressed. We are having the negative of happiness there. So what Bhagavad Gita is asking us to do is if you see whether the work is worth doing or not, whether the war is to be fought or not, that is based on some other arguments, other rationality and all. If you feel that it is worth doing, you do it, but never think that the result will make you happy. Or that by that result this will happen, that will happen, and that means you are attaching your mind to some favorable conditions which may come, may not come. And by that what is happening? The mind is not focused on the current situation. It is focused on something happening in future. Is it not? So by delinking that, if you focus fully on the work, you will understand whether this work is to be performed or not. Work is always oriented to a result. Objective result will be there. Without that, nobody does anything. Without an objective result to come, will anybody do anything? You are eating because there is hunger, and if your hunger doesn't get fulfilled, satiated by eating, will you not question the food? I am eating for 1 hour, still I am feeling hungry. What kind of food I am eating? Am I dreaming? Is it not food? So any work is taken up only with an objective result in mind. But that objective result, when we are linking to an internal satisfaction, favorable desire of the mind, then the focus is getting shifted to that from the performance. And the performance will be at its best when we keep that part away. when we are focused on the work. And why it is, the moment you keep away the desire, anxiety and fear and all that, you will find that you are naturally you are cheerful. You are having a very placid, cheerful disposition. In anybody working, the work will be excellent when his mind is cheerful and placid. If your mind is already agitated and anxious, your work will never be in its best form. So you are working thinking of the objective result, but not the subjective result. Is it clear? It's a very, very important point, widely misunderstood. It's not explained properly in the books also. How can the causal effect, cause and effect chain, the result which comes in the external objective situation be renounced? It cannot be. You are working, you are getting the money at the end of the month. Are you to throw away the money? Money you need. The question is that by money you should not become slave to the money. That I should get only more and more money and I don't do my work properly. I am only interested in the money, not in the work. We don't need spirituality, it is simple understanding. We have already 8 o'clock, so I just briefly say and then go to this I will avoid, slide number 8. That is the pursuit in Bhagavad Gita. The pursuit in Bhagavad Gita. See, here it's a short thing, a gradual evolution of Buddhi. That means it depends on our understanding. And whatever methods are given in Bhagavad Gita, it is all experiential. Whenever the Buddhi is evolving to a new dimension, nobody else from outside can say. It is you who will know that my Buddhi has become freed of the slavery which it was having earlier. My mind has become free. Suppose your mind is very constricted. Kripana we say. Kripana we always take in the sense of money. Actually it is not so. You will find most of us are not able to appreciate the qualities of others, particularly colleagues or whom we do not like. We are not able to. A person has got a very good quality, but we are not ready to appreciate that. Why? The mind is very small. We are not able to appreciate others' qualities. That means we are also not qualitative in that. If we are given to some quality, very good quality, we should be able to appreciate that quality in others also. So, if it is happening, suppose you notice that I am not able to appreciate the qualities of my colleague because my mind becomes a little disturbed by that. You win over that and appreciate the colleague. One day you do it as an experiment. It need not be colleague, anybody, it can be your partner also. You do it and you will find that immediately there will be a relaxation, there will be a release felt in your mind. This nobody else can feel. That which was making you subdued, that constricting pressure has gone, that stress has gone, and by appreciating others you are getting lot of joy. These are all experiential. So once you know this, this joy of winning over the lower tendencies will make you do it again in other field also. So as you practice living this, you will find that your Buddhi and the mind both are growing to higher and higher dimension. It is a living experience. You have to live the knowledge and have it, and it will take you further forward. So the whole sadhana in fact is an evolution of the Buddhi. Whether you do the activities or not, the question is whether your mind is expanding or not, whether Buddhi is getting clarity or not. So it is actually the whole Bhagavad Gita pursuit is an evolution of the Buddhi. That is why it is called Buddhi Yoga. That the Buddhi is taking us to the ultimate fusion with the universal identity, yoga, which means. So for that, Bhagavad Gita is specifically given various methods. Here I have identified 6. Can you show the slide 9? So these, I have given the terms as well as where, in which are the shlokas it has been discussed. I will not have the time to give the full detail of it, and all the shlokas I have not mentioned. Some few specific which are important shlokas I have mentioned here, not the others. So these 6 actually, they are the 6 paths, you can say. Whichever your mind is given to, your orientation is given to, you take to it. But all of them, any of them, will take you to the same goal. Actually, they are not different. It is all related to the mind and intelligence becoming universal, impartial, impersonal, loving, embracing the whole world. That will be the ultimate result. Suppose samatva. I will come into the detail later on. Samatva means being equal to both success and failure, good and bad, favorable and unfavorable. That means the mind is rising to an impersonal level. The examples are many. Suppose the sunlight is exposing the garbage and the rose flower. The sunlight doesn't get petrified by that. Similarly, the consciousness is exposing impurity as well as purity, good as well as bad. By that, the consciousness doesn't get affected at all. The role of the consciousness is only to reveal whatever is. A criminal is revealed, a saint also is revealed. And this is what our real identity is, that it is only revealing. It is revealing sukha, revealing dukkha. By that, the identity, it doesn't become dukkhi and sukhi. The mind becomes sukhi, the mind becomes dukkhi. The consciousness only, the Atma only reveals that. Sukha bodha and dukkha bodha. When our focus changes from the sukha or dukkha to this substratum, this fundamental revealer, then we find that both sukha and dukkha I can take to any extent, remaining in equilibrium. It's not that I am not suffering in dukkha. It's not that I am not happy in sukha. Both are there. But I am not getting drowned by anything. Both I am equally placid. My mind remains placid in both. I am not running after sukha. I am not trying to avoid dukkha always. So these are discussed in these shlokas. Then asangatva. This is actually a great of Bhagavad Gita. Asakti or asangatva. Both are there. Sangha, Sakti. That means there is a clinging in us. Clinging to what I like and intolerant about or hating what I dislike. That doesn't allow us to see the world as it is and see ourselves also as we are. If it is my child, we refuse to see the defects in that. We blame the neighbor's child that staying with him, he has got spoiled. That means we are not seeing the world properly. If it is my fault, we try to put the fault on others. No, I did not do it. She did it. So we are not seeing the world as it is because of this clinging to what I like. I like my personality. I like my everything, my family, my property. So if other some loss is there, we are not worried about it. So this asangatva is coming to a completely eliminating that clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike. Likes and dislikes will be there. They will not go. Everybody, good people will like good people. But we are clinging to what we like and hating or intolerant about what we dislike. Those have to go. Then comes Yajna Bhava. This I will explain tomorrow. It will not be there. Time is not there. Then outliving Raga Dvesha. That means same as clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike. Then transcending gunas. The whole 14th chapter is based on that. I will give only 1 or 2 shlokas to explain what does it mean. It's a very important. And ultimately the Sharanagati or surrender. This is also widely misunderstood concept. So I will try to touch some of them tomorrow, starting straight away from this slide onward. Now, do we have, we have up to 8 o'clock, no? Already it is 8:10. We have time for questions, a few questions I can address, so that I know also what is needed.
Any questions?
Give the mic to someone.
Yeah.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. My question is that as a householder, like should we, I have always this confusion, like can I just meditate or do yoga, asanas and all that, and will I still help my mind? Or like if I only want to spend certain time, like or I should read, try to understand Gita, or should I do both?
You have to do not only both, some more also. You have to, if you can meditate, you meditate. If you read and understand, do that. If that is not there, you can listen to the talks now. So many talks are available in the YouTube that will help you to understand better. And then finally, what we are discussing here is to make every moment of life a sadhana. Whatever you are doing, focus on your mind and intelligence, so that all the constrictions, the knots they are carrying in the form of desire, selfishness, self-centeredness, greed, miserliness, they are treated. So that is not a time-bound practice.
Okay.
It is all the wakeful hours you should do that pursuit. And you can keep about 1 or 1.5 or 2 hours for reading, meditating and listening to the talks, anything like that. They are all complementary. They are not contradicting each other.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? You have anything? Could you understand my language and all? There is no problem?
Yes. In fact, when you were speaking about, I talk to my students a lot about karma yoga. So doing things without the expectation of any result, essentially. After you, open a door, you hold a door open for someone, if you expect them to say thank you, then you're not doing anyone any favors. You should just open the door because you want to open the door, not because you expect for the other person to appreciate the time or effort that you put into that activity. And it's the same with relationships. If you are doing something because you want to do it, it will make the other person happy, and then you'll be happy together. And if you're doing something with the expectation that that person appreciates it and then shows you appreciation, then you're not doing it for reasons to keep both of you happy. You're doing it for your own reasons. And the relationship will not go well because you're not communicating with that person that that's the expectation that you have. So it was just making me think of those things.
So there is no question. You are saying whatever you are teaching, is it not? Is there any question in your statement?
No question.
It's a statement of...
you asked me if I understood you, and I'm just saying, yes, I understood everything.
That's understood. But actually it is not just that. It is also, suppose samatva, when they have defined evenness of the mind, they have defined that siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate, 2.48. That the yoga is defined here as the equal vision, taking the success and failure in the proper attitude. That is not always looking for success and hating failure, Whatever you do, you are doing for success only. But sometimes it may not come, it might be a failure also. But when it takes to the samatva, to the ultimate level, there it says, Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati yo Arjuna. Sukhamba yadiva dukkham sayogi paramomata. This yoga will take you to a dimension where you find that the whole universe is appearing on our own identity, the consciousness. Whatever we are perceiving, unless it appears in our mind, we will not know. We are coming to know only when they are appearing in our mind, in our consciousness. So, to feel that it is all an expression of the Atma. So, the criminal or the enemy is an expression of the Atma. To my parents, my children, or even the sceneries also, the whole creation is only appearing on the Atma. It's an expression of the Atma. So to that level we have to take. For that some meditation and other things also will be necessary, knowledge pursuit and all. So it starts from the whatever you said, that not looking for personal gain and all, but it goes to the ultimate level of seeing uniformity everywhere in the creation. Does it mean? Anybody else?
Yeah, Namaste Swamiji. Yeah, you said something about Rama, that he was depressed. Was it at an early stage?
16 years. Yeah. As Yoga Vasishta says, it is Rama was 16-year-old, so he had completed his Brahmacharya studies. So he went for a pilgrimage of the country, went around to see what is happening. And there he saw, huge description is there what Rama saw. It was worse than the country, than the situation now. We say Rama Rajya, but Rama described the situation was very, very bad compared to what the situation now is. And he got very depressed. Seeing that, he became very depressed. He stopped getting up, doing the ablutions even. So Dasharatha felt...
How did Vishwamitra...
so Dasharatha was worried about it. So they were in link with both Vishwamitra and Vasishta. So when they came and Dasharatha told Vishwamitra and Vasishta that this is the state of my son. Something has gone wrong. Then Vishwamitra says that this is not for you to treat. Your father, it is okay, but you will not be able to treat Rama. It is for us. And since Vasishta is already present here, Vasishta was their Kula Guru. Kula Guru means their family preceptor. He was the family preceptor. Since Vasishta is there, Vasishta should instruct Rama. That Vishwamitra suggested. Then Vasishta starts instructing.
But how did he convince him? You said 18 days he took him for a...
because Vasishta's cottage was in the maybe forest nearby or so. Every day they used to bring Vasishta from the cottage in the palace, and as described there, all the senior ministers, even the devas and rishis, all used to attend, because such a lecture nobody, it's not like here that if any good lecture is there, only 20 people will come. So all the whole, the Ayodhya, whoever was allowed to come into the palace, they came and they were listening to, from morning to evening. They have not said that they are serving lunch or dinner. We don't know that part is not written. So because evening they were taking them back to again Vasishta's cottage. That is how it was going on. You are interested in that, you should read the introduction to Yoga Vasishta. We have it in the Quatitude of the Mind. The beginning of it, that portion I think Ma has written. The foreword has been written.
How did they convince him? Is it there in the... That is your... How could they convince him, convince Rama? Is there...
you read the whole Yoga Vasishta, you will also be convinced. It is some, what is the number of shlokas? 18 lakhs, no? Or 18,000? 18,000. 18,000 or more? 18,000. It has got 6 prakaranas. Prakarana means books. 6 books.
Thank you.
Do you have time? We are already late, 8:15. I have a personal day that in my childhood, when I was studying in school, I had visited one place in Devghar in Bihar, as well Bihar. So there we went to see a cave, which is believed to be Kapil Muni's cave or so. So it was a cave in front, then you cross over through a small opening to the next room, then again there is a hole, you go to the third room, and that was meant for meditation, where it's absolute dark, but still from somewhere up the hill, the oxygen is coming, the air is still, so you feel very fresh there. That is so we saw all these things and came out. In the outermost cave, a very small area, there one sannyasin was sitting, a sadhu was sitting. So I found that behind him, cutting the stone, there is the olden days they used to make a small space, cupboard-like space where you can keep. So there one huge book is kept, thick a book is lying there. So I asked him, can I touch it? He said, yes. He smiled and said, yes, yes. So I opened the book and found that it is Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. I never have heard of Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana before that, that's the first time. So I went around and I found that the whole book is Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. So I asked that, you have only one book? So he smiled and then replied, it's still ringing in my ears, that beta, ये एक ग्रंथ काफी है एक जीवन के लिए, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. This one book is more than enough for one lifetime. You don't need anything else. Actually, as far as the history goes, the Yoga Vasishtha was available as the name was Mokshopaya. It was in Kashmir, the Kashmir Shaivites were having it. From there it was rewritten and edited to Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. But the book says in the manner that Valmiki himself has composed it. And with this, the whole Ramayana becomes complementary, because in Ramayana it is not clearly written how Rama became a knower. It is presenting Rama as a knower. So there is an incompleteness. So the whole book completes Ramayana saying that how Rama became, that Rama's depression is mentioned in Ramayana, but how he was corrected is not there. So that way it is a complementary to the Valmiki Ramayana, and this is also, it goes as the author as the Valmiki. No other author is mentioned there. It's a great book. Swamiji is writing commentary on that in our monthly magazine Vichar Setu. Every month it comes. It's the last section now going on. It's called, what is that prakarana called? Nirvana Prakarana. Nirvana Prakarana has got 2 divisions. It is the last division now going on in Vichar Setu. And we have 3 books. The Science of Inner Renunciation. Inner Redemption. The Science of Inner Redemption. SIR. 3 already written, there will be 6 volumes or so, but we have published only 3. Those are there. It's not there, it's there, no? But the other book, the first book, which is on Upashama Prakarana, that quietude of the mind, that is very much popular also. Oh. Okay, so I will chant and close it. Then you have to announce something. Is there? Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranami. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam Bhajeham sadanusmarami pranami.